It feels like it's been ages since most people played a decent survival horror game, and with the Maid of Sker, Wales Interactive is trying to provide that experience. Set in the late 19th century and inspired by British folklore, Maid of Sker is a first-person horror game with a Victorian-era aesthetic. On paper, it's rather interesting, but the game has enough flaws that hold it back from grabbing the attention of anyone who isn't actively looking for a horror experience.
Your love, always, Elizabeth.
First and foremost, Maid of Sker absolutely nails the atmosphere, which, to be honest, might be the most essential part of survival horror. If you're looking for an experience based on tone and tension alone, this might be enough to convince you to play this game. Sadly though, if you're looking to jump out of your chair, Maid of Sker is not explicitly scary. Still, each component contributes to creating an engaging and compelling horror atmosphere that keeps you immersed in the game. While it has its moments though, it's a shame that the story and gameplay just doesn't leave the same impression. The Maid of Sker follows Thomas as he receives a letter from his lover, Elizabeth. The letter tells him that he's trapped in the Sker Hotel, and as Thomas, you rush to the hotel to save her. When you arrive though, you learn that everyone has become monsters who can't see. You need to find these 4 cylinders and various other things like music notes to stop this madness and save Elizabeth. Through notes, messages through phonographs, and phone calls, you slowly piece together how the Sker Hotel got to this state. The concepts and events of the story are reasonably engaging, but how the player experiences them is rather dull because the player doesn't actually experience any of the critical story events. You're not Elizabeth, you're Thomas. And as a result, from the player's perspective, the experience of the story is what you just hear and read. The story that the player gets to experience is just bad guys in a hotel while trying to save a girl, which is far less compelling. The gameplay is primarily a mix between adventure and stealth. I say this because the main gameplay element is like a first-person adventure, exploring the various rooms in the hotel to unravel the story, find various trinkets, memos, and the 4 cylinders needed. As you explore, you will need to complete puzzles or find trinkets to progress. However, you'll also find stealth elements in certain rooms that will contain mobs, which will attack you if you make noise. The game makes you hyper aware of the sounds you make because the sound is the primary mechanic in regards to these stealth elements. Remember, the enemies can't see and are instead drawn to the noises you make. So long as you're in the area in which they can hear, if you make any kind of noise, you'll get caught even if you're in a different room. So to get around these enemies, you'll either have to distract them with some other noise source or just be quiet and hope they don't spot you. You don't have any real weapons, only a sound orb that momentarily pauses them, so your only recourse if you get caught is to run away or die. The core gameplay loop is engaging and entertaining for the most part. The hotel is a setting that's fun to explore, and the adventure elements mirror that engagement. Additionally, the stealth elements help to create moments of tension as you make your way through the environment. But there's just more than enough things in this game that annoy me to the point in which I really felt like this combination of genres actively hinders your experience. A good stealth survival horror game revels in the feeling of tension, requiring you to be on your toes at all times, while a good adventure game requires you to calmly look through everything slowly for all the various knickknacks. And these are experiences that inherently contradict each other. While it might be easy to get around if you take your time and completely be aware of your surroundings, at other times getting through the map feels like a chore, and at other times like pure trial and error. Due to the adventure systems, you're frequently backtracking, in which the stealth elements get in the way. And if you're engaged in the stealth, the adventure aspects get in way of the stealth. The game makes you swing back and forth between high and low tension very too quickly, making it maybe enjoyable in short burst sessions, but for long gameplay sections, it gets very old very quick. The moody graphics and somber soundtrack blend to create a world that's engaging and entertaining. The world is constructed deliberately and everything flows cohesively. The aesthetic is rather appealing, immersing you in the 19th century setting. Pixel peep, however, and you'll find blurry textures and low-res models. But in the context of a scene, from reasonable distances, nothing looks terrible, and the visuals won't bother you for the most part. Just the one very significant problem is that the Maid of Sker is far too dark. It feels like you spend half of the game fumbling around in dark areas. The winding in this game is more frustrating than scary, as progression is depending on you finding these various trinkets and avoiding these mobs, which you need to see for both of them to be able to be playable. The Maid of Sker sadly doesn't stand out of the crowd from other horror adventure. The story's best moments takes place in notes found in environments, and as cohesive and engaging as they are, this game is not a technical marvel. The game's blending of puzzle solving and horror adventure just doesn't end up working, and instead it makes it feel like these should have been two different games. Luckily, the experience doesn't overstay its welcome and can be completed in about 6 hours. Still, Maid of Sker ends up excelling in its atmosphere, which absolutely nails the feeling of tension during its more competent stealth sections. While the game doesn't move the genre in any direction, this is a horror experience that will make for a fun evening for genre lovers, but it might lose you with its flaws. Noisy Pixel is giving Maid of Sker a 6.5 out of 10. This has been Noisy Pixel, signing off. And you're interested in more information about this game, please check out the written review on the website. If you're interested in content like this, please subscribe to the channel to be notified about our future content, and have a great day.